debt is a lot more dangerous now than it was a decade ago. And so I don't want you to get destroyed by the high interest rates that we're dealing with now. Hey guys, I wanted to make this quick video. This was inspired by Robert C. Edison. He is a new up-and-coming YouTuber. He's growing at an incredible rate, and I've watched literally all of his videos. So I will leave a link to all of his stuff down in the comment section below, because I want you to go over there and check it out. But one thing that really stuck out to me was the idea of you need to just get to your first 10,000. And I kind of wanted to share my journey to my first $10,000 saved, and why I agree with him and why it's so important. So at the beginning of this year, I really started that journey, and I'm gonna insert some video kind of showing you kind of the graph of where my finances have grown over the last year, and kind of track my journey. So I want to cut to that right now so you guys can check that out.
So we're going to specifically be looking at the cash category on the account. So as you can see, I started back in January with a little under $10, and I started slowly adding to my accounts month over month consistently. Now, as you can see, this isn't a smooth line up. There are some weeks and days where I had more or less cash in the account. I'm continually adding to and growing my reserves. And so this took a long time. This took almost 9 months, I'd say, before I crossed the 10,000 mark. I had to sacrifice quite a bit to be able to do this. I had to work a lot of overtime hours. I've been working anywhere from 50 to 60 hours a week, every single week. And so that does get tolling, and it is taxing, but I will say that it is so worth it in the end. And so now I have a little over $10,000 saved, and it's been such an incredible journey. And there you go, right? In November, I crossed the 10,000 threshold. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys so you can see that it's possible for you to be able to do this as well.
Now, I show you this not as a way to brag, and I know I look like I have a hat here, but I show you this not in a way to brag, but to show you what's possible. Now, my wife has been a massive blessing to this journey as well. She does work on the side. She doesn't have to work, but she wants our family to reach our goals. And so when you have somebody that is a partner, it is a blessing. When they're your enemy, it can become your downfall. And so thankfully, she's been a wonderful partner. And it's taken sacrifice and dedication from both of us. Long days, overtime hours, getting up early, working late, cutting back on eating out and subscription services. We could have reached this slightly faster, but if it really becomes to the point where it's not going to be sustainable for you, then what's the point, right? If you can't sustain it. So figure out what that sustainment rate is for you. We talked a little bit earlier about cutting back and working hard, but there are some other things that you need to consider. And one of the biggest things that you need to consider is why. Why are you saving this? Is this just an arbitrary number that you're trying to reach? Is just that amount of money that you can kind of start flexing on people, right? So the reason I want you to save up this $10,000, and this is something that Robert reiterates in a lot of his videos, is this is your baseline. This is your safety net. Life comes at you and doesn't ever let up. And it is, gas pedal to the floor. And you need a cushion to protect yourself. Look, I don't know where the economy is headed going into the next year, but from all the data points that I study, it doesn't look like we're headed in exactly bright direction as far as labor jobs. It looks like we will probably be in a recession at some point next year. What that does for the labor market, I don't know. And I'm not an expert, so do your own due diligence. But from all the research that I have conducted, and I spend hours and hours a day researching this kind of stuff, it's a passion of mine. But all the data points just look grim. And so I'm not telling you this for you to be afraid. I'm telling you this so that you can be prepared. And I want you to start saving up that money, because I don't want you to lose your job, fall behind on bills and default. I don't want you to lose your apartment. I don't want your credit score to get trashed. I don't want any of that stuff for you. I don't want those painful things in life to affect you. What I want you to do is I want you to start saving as much money as you can now, and set the goal for next year to save up $12,000, $1,000 a month. Figure out how you can do that. And if you have a partner, that makes it even easier, but reduce that lifestyle. If your lease is coming up at the beginning of next year, maybe consider downsizing. Maybe consider getting an apartment with roommates instead of a solo apartment. Figure out what you can do to lower your expenses. If your car is worth significantly more than you owe on it, and maybe you own a little more car than you need, consider selling your car and taking the cash from that transaction, buying yourself a $6,000 to $10,000 car. You can get a really solid car between $6,000 and $10,000, and I would always recommend Toyota, Lexus, Acura, and Honda, right? But you can get a really solid vehicle in that price range. That's what I drive. I drive a 2012 Acura, and I want it. If you want that luxury, but you want that reliability, Acura and Lexus are it. And so I want that for you. So you don't need to sacrifice everything, but come up with these ways that you can start generating that extra income. Start cutting back, start coming up with that extra cash. And then you're going to be able to protect yourself no matter what happens. It's Thanksgiving, and I want you next year to be able to sit down at the Thanksgiving table and have that extra confidence and be thankful that you put in this effort over the next year. And I don't want you to wait until the new year to start this project. I want you to start today. Now there's some categories and some places that you are probably overspending. Number one is the gas station. Loads of people are overspending. They're buying alcohol, they're buying snacks, they're buying nicotine products in the gas station. And there are these microtransactions that are going to destroy you because you probably aren't tracking it. And it's also probably destroying your health because you're probably not tracking those parts of your diet either. Another place is vending machines. Vending machines are something that people spend a lot more money than they actually think they do. Typically any transaction on a vending machine is anywhere from $3 to $5. If you do that, a couple times a day, 2 times a day, getting a drink and a snack, we're talking anywhere from $7 to $10 a day. That's $70 a week, $50, $60 a week. So keep that in mind. You can really address those expenditures. If you're really trying to maximize, don't drive more than you need to. Just go to all the necessary places. And you can even start looking at grocery stores that are on your way to and from work so that you're not making extra trips outside of your normal day-to-day. Now, that might be a little bit extreme. I'm not saying that you need to do that, but if you're really trying to maximize this and get to your first $10,000, that's just something that you can do. I don't want you to sacrifice your health, so set aside a decent budget. I think that if you're a single person, anything from $300 to $400 a month in groceries should be really good. That should allow you to make delicious, nutritious, healthy meals and have a little bit of money left over for snacks. Just for your personal hygiene, I'd budget about another $100 for that. And then if it really does fit into your budget, I mean, I'm talking pay minimum payments on all of your credit cards and all your other debts, and just start stacking this cash and consider that debt as your baseline. That's zero. Forget about that. I'm not saying that we're not going to address that, but just start from a fresh foot and start building up that capital, because I don't want you to go back further into debt in the future. And if we do go into a recession and people do start losing their jobs, that becomes even more likely, especially with interest rates as high as they are today. Debt is a lot more dangerous now than it was a decade ago. And so I don't want you to get destroyed by the high interest rates that we're dealing with now. Even if the Fed is cutting interest rates, I understand. And so I just want you to kind of think about these things as we're going into this new year. It's not new year, new you. It's a new season that I want you to adopt a new lifestyle, a new mindset. And so I hope that you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please leave a comment down in the comment section below. If you've made it to your first $10,000, let us know how it feels and what you did, and if there's any tips that you have on how you got there. If you're on the journey, let me know how you're doing. And if you are somebody who has made it to that freedom, tell us how it feels. I know for me personally, it's freeing. There's not a lot of mental stress. I'm not always concerned about my job, because I know that in a worst case scenario, I can survive for, 3-4 months. And that's with not even changing my lifestyle. That's continuing to do everything that I do normally, and I still have the cash for that. And so it gives me an extra boost of confidence just when I operate and move throughout the world. So I want that for you. So as always, thanks for watching, guys. Again, please go check out Robert C. Edison on YouTube. Links in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.